Hello, welcome back. This is episode number 3. This is where we are going to take a look at the second level of the 6 phases of the human life, and we're going to go through and do questions for that level. So just a quick recap for those of you listening on the podcast. Yesterday we went over the 6 phases of human life. The first one was dependency and how do I survive, and that's from the age of 0 to 19. And level 2, personal power, how do I establish myself in this world, human development, and that's from age 20 to 30. So that's what we're going to take care of today. Just for everyone else to listen in, number 3 is belonging. Where do I fit in? That's human development level number 3, ages 30 to 35. Number 4, deep self-awareness. What is really important to me? Human development level 4, ages 35 to 45. Level 5, life mission. What is my purpose? Human development level 5, age 45 to 65. And the last level is level 6, self-confidence, human development level 6, and that's from age 65 and above. So today we're just going to focus on personal power, how do I establish myself in the world, human development. And so let's get right into what that kind of looks like. So here we have a little chart. Oops, I already spread everything out here. So we can click on the little plus here and the spider web comes out for those of you listening. I have basically a rectangle on my computer screen, and when you click on it, human development number 2, ages 20 to 30. It spider webs out to 40 different topics, and these 40 different topics let's see here, we'll zoom into a couple here and we'll see what it looks like. So here's a big spider web, and at the end of each of those legs on this spider web, or I guess you could look at it as like a spider, you can see different topics. So we have 40 topics for this age, between ages 20 and 30. And so the first one here is adjusting to adult responsibilities and independence. And so you get 10 questions here. Now, again, you don't have to use all these questions for your interview if you don't want to. These are just starter questions to get you started. So here for these 40 topics, there's a minimum of 10 questions, and some of them have more. So you have a minimum of 400 questions total for this age group between 20 and 30 years old. So here we can just click here. You can see the other. So like, for example, what are some of the most significant challenges that you faced as you transitioned into young adulthood? And that's one of the questions that you'd get in reference to adjusting to adult responsibilities and independence. Another question would be, how did you feel when you first realized you were becoming a young adult and taking on responsibilities? So some of these might be a little more philosophical questions, and of course, depending on your age, thinking back, when you were in your early 20s and mid 20s and late 20s, what would your answer be? How would you handle financial independence, or how did you handle financial independence and budgeting as a young adult? So thinking back in my own story, I remember I was working. In my early 20s, I was in school for most of the time, and then I went into the military right after school. So yeah, I was pretty organized all the way through my 20s and late 20s and into my early 30s. So I really didn't have to think too much on that. I just said yes, sir, and I did whatever they told me because I was in the military. So let's go to another topic here. Finding and pursuing a career path. So what are some questions here? We'll just click on the little plus sign here, just for listeners to know what we're doing. And then another 10 questions pops up for this subject. How did you decide on your career path? What was your first job as a young adult, and how did you find it? There could be a lot of interesting stories there. It could be family business. It could be just, wanted ads in the local newspaper, or word of mouth. It's summertime, let's go, find somebody that needs some work done, and you just did it. All right, so just another topic here, building and maintaining relationships and romantic partners, friends and family. So you click here, and again, a little plus symbols, and you have some questions that pop up. I think I'm gonna get rid of this. So how did you meet your romantic partners during this period in your life in the early 20s? Most people probably had a few. If you're one of the lucky ones, I say lucky because if you found your love of your life right off the bat, you're probably pretty lucky. And you didn't have to go through that process of heartbreak too many times. Okay, there's 10 questions here. There may be more questions added to that later. So what's another topic here we can look at? Navigating financial challenges and responsibilities. All right, so this kind of is another follow-on set of more specific questions. Did you experience any financial challenges or setbacks during this time period? And if so, how did you handle them? So this is another 10 questions for navigating financial challenges and responsibilities. We'll just do one more here. So you just get the idea. There's 40 topics here, and they're all about topics that has to do with your between 20 and 30 years old. And there's over 400 questions. You can add to it, or you can just use these as is. Of course, not every question is relevant. Everybody has a different life, but this is just a very organized way of doing your interview for your autobiography. So that is it. Tomorrow we will go back and we'll look at let's see here, go back to our original one here. So tomorrow we're going to do belonging. Where do I fit in? Human development level number 3, and that's between the ages of 30 and 35. So we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.